Dog had no more strength. A stone was tied to it and thrown into the water. Weak and exhausted, the poor dog struggled to stay afloat, a heavy stone cruelly tied to its body before being thrown into the water. With no strength left, it seemed like the end, but fate had other plans. What happened next was nothing short of a miracle. A distant splash shattered the quiet, sending Pamela White racing toward the source of the sound. As she neared the river, her breath caught in her throat. There, battling against the relentless current, was a dog, its soaked, matted fur clinging to its frail body. The desperation in its eyes was unmistakable, a silent plea for help. A heavy weight was bound to the dog, pulling it under and making every desperate attempt to swim feel hopeless. Time seemed to slow as Pamela took in the horrifying sight. Without hesitation, she dove into the water, the icy chill jolting her senses. Fighting against the current, she swam toward the struggling animal, her heart racing with urgency. As Pamela reached the dog, its eyes widened, and at that moment, an unspoken connection passed between them, a silent plea for salvation. Her hands grasped its trembling body, and to her horror, she felt the rough rope tightly bound around it. Her stomach twisted as she traced it to the other end, where a heavy bag filled with stones dragged mercilessly against the current, a cruel attempt to ensure the dog would never rise again. Gritting her teeth, she worked to untie the rope, her fingers fumbling in the frigid water. The dog, sensing her intent, clung to her as if it knew she was its last hope. With a final heave, Pamela freed Candy from her watery prison. They emerged onto the riverbank, gasping for breath. The dog collapsed at her feet, exhausted but alive. Pamela's heart swelled with relief and determination. She scooped Candy into her arms and raced to the nearest veterinary clinic, praying that time hadn't run out for the poor creature. At the clinic, the veterinarian examined Candy with a mix of concern and compassion. Pamela watched anxiously as the doctor worked, learning that Candy had been through hell. The vet revealed that Candy had likely been passed from one owner to another, each leaving behind scars, both physical and emotional. The realization hit Pamela hard. How could anyone be so cruel? As Candy slowly began her recovery, Pamela found herself returning to the clinic every day, bringing treats and offering comfort, determined to show the dog the kindness she had long been denied. Candy's spirit slowly began to shine through her weary eyes, and Pamela felt a deep bond forming between them. Yet, the weight of her past suffering still lingered in the air. The police had been alerted and launched an investigation into Candy's abuse. As days passed, their efforts led them to a couple notorious for neglecting animals, bringing them one step closer to justice. The police had gathered enough evidence to suspect them, but proving their guilt would take time. Pamela was overwhelmed with a mix of anger and helplessness. How could anyone commit such a cruel act? Determined, she vowed to ensure that justice would be served for Candy. What an incredible story! If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so please leave a comment below. See you in the next video.